Rankin here with BrickHouse.tv, and I am truly excited to be sitting with Art Alexakis from Everclear.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I nailed it.
Nailed my last name.
Only because you coached me.
Well, that's okay, but still, I've coached people, and they go, Alexakis, and then they go, here's Art Alexakis.
And that is a nightmare for a host, I have to tell you. So, Art, I am really thrilled to be able to sit down and talk to you. You have had, it's hard to believe that it's been 20 years since So Much for the Afterglow.
21 years.
21 years.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking about you guys. Your music has been a soundtrack for so many people's lives. And your music is so personal. And I had just done an interview with John Waite recently, and he said something that made me think of you guys. He said that his goal as a songwriter is to create the most simple song, and then that's what he's always striving for. And it made me think of you because your lyrics are so straightforward. The way you tell a story, it's simple, but it's brilliant, and that's what jumps out to me. So my first question is after this many years in the business, what is your goal as a songwriter?
Well, really, my goal as a songwriter is to take what's in here, make sense of it for me, and make it into a 3-minute story that I can lose myself in. And and I'm not so far on the fringe that if it does it for me, it's going to do it for other people as well.
And I believe that's why your music is so relatable.
Well, I mean, what John said, and I'm a huge fan of John Waite.
Yeah.
I actually had the pleasure of doing a thing at Ryman Auditorium with John Waite and Kevin Cronin from REO, and the three of us sat down in front of a huge crowd and just played acoustic guitars, and we played each other's songs and played our own songs and talked about stories. It was a magical moment.
Yeah.
But the simplicity of it, I'm making a solo record right now, and I'm adding a lot of stuff, but I know that I always strip down what doesn't need to be there. Does that line need to be there? Does this need to be there? Does it need an extra chorus? Everybody says have 4 choruses.
Right.
If it doesn't need it, if it doesn't need to follow structure, there's no rules. You make your rules as you go. But I believe in that austerity. That's the only place I believe in austerity is in songwriting.
Yeah.
Or in any kind of creative work.
But that's such a gift to be able to do that. I mean, you make it seem easy, but to be able to sit down and write like that is very difficult. How did you learn to actually be a songwriter? I mean, did it all just come out naturally, or did you actually go and study at some point?
No.
I mean,
I did study. I listened to records,
And that was your training.
Yeah, I remember I had been playing in bands since I was like 15 or 16, playing guitar, singing backup, and I just got sick of songwriters, or not songwriters. I got sick of singers who couldn't play instruments, and I'm just like, the hell with this. I took a year off all the bands I was playing in, cover bands, punk bands, whatever, and I was living at my mom's. When you're in your teens, 20s, move back and forth between your mom.
Right.
And I was living in my mom's, sleeping on her fold-out couch. And during the day, I would teach myself how to write songs. I'd listen to Neil Young and the Beatles and Zeppelin. And I always wanted a singer-songwriter. I always liked singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
But I love big guitar, rock, and punk bands.
Yeah.
And that's what really Everclear is a singer-songwriter with a rock band.
It is. It is.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
And I just taught myself to write songs. And I wrote a bunch of bad songs. And then I wrote a couple good songs. And then the ratio kept getting better songs. One thing I do, I write bad stuff like anybody. I just try to throw it away.
Yeah.
Or cannibalize the good parts.
Yeah.
If there's a good line in this song or a good break or a good chorus, I'll put it in my back pocket and I'll use it some other time.
Yeah. So another thing about your writing is obviously you write so much from your personal life and personal experiences.
Well, a lot of people think that. There is definitely autobiographical songs. Father of Mine, absolutely.
Right.
Wonderful, pretty much. I mean, I was watching my daughter go through a divorce, and me and her mom had put her through, and I had been a child of divorce, but watching your kid go through it is just devastating. And that's where that song came from. But for the most part, I like to write from the first person. So a lot of songs that people think are really personal songs, they're personal because they're my perspective on it, but it's not necessarily straight ahead autobiographical.
That's really
People
interesting.
make that assumption.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm glad that came out. So, do you ever, for the ones that are autobiographical, like Father of Mine, which was such a heavy subject, such a powerful song, have you ever looked back and regretted or been apprehensive about being so open or raw in your music, or are you like, hey, this is who I am and this is what it is?
Pretty much, but I mean, I wouldn't write about it if I wasn't ready to talk about it. Like Father of Mine, I was ready to talk about it. I remember watching my daughter sleep one night, just going in her room and watching her sleep. And I'm like, how can a man walk away from this?
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Right.
Not talk, not support them, not anything. And my mother taught me, my mother never bad talked my dad, but she's kind of passive aggressive about it. She'd be like, son, a real man doesn't move to the other side of the country and not pay child support.
Yeah. No woman's ever been passive aggressive.
No.
No. Come on.
Well, I was raised by a woman, 3 sisters, 4 wives, 2 daughters. Yeah, I get a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm very in touch with my feminine side. I like my feminine side. I just wish my feminine side didn't look like me. But all joking aside, I just, as far as songwriting goes, I try to express the things that just feel real. And there's songs like I'll Buy You a New Life where I take autobiographical things that happen and build a character around it. So there's a lot of like reality in almost all my songs. Yeah. There's a couple of songs I just wrote, Yeah. I just came up with a story and I made it very personal because that's what I want to hear. Yeah. If other people, a lot of people don't like my music, they've told me that. Your songs are too personal. I go, don't listen to it. I can't imagine somebody saying a song is too personal. I mean, I think that's what art is about. But I agree. I have to tell you, your album, Black is the New Black, I thought is a fantastic album. Thank you. I did too. American Monster, I just love that song. And I think, you're a rocker girl, aren't you? I grew up on the 70s stuff, so 70s and 80s. And I just want to say on the interview, for any Everclear fan out there, go listen to that entire album. It's a fantastic album, and I love that you have stayed really true to your sound, even with all the changes over time, and you've got newer lineup. Not super new, but it's not the original guys. Well, those guys weren't the original guys either. Yeah. They were the third version of the band. That's right. But they were at the right place at the right time. But a song off the new record is case in point. Like Father of Mine, I was ready to talk about it, but I was abused when I was 8 years old. Oh. And I didn't want to talk about it. Yeah. And then on this last record, I wrote a song about it, which is on Black is the New Black, called You. Yes. Yes. Great song. And a lot of that is the catharsis of just pulling it out. Getting it out. Talking about it. Yeah. And so it's kind of like my therapy in a way. Yeah. And it seems to be therapy for other people too. So that's good now. So doing the solo project, I'm sure is taking a lot of your focus. But how do you balance that and prioritize it with still being part of Everclear? And can the fans count on any new material? Are you guys going to work on any new material? You've got the Summerland tour. Well, we do the Summerland tour. I've got, we're constantly out playing shows. I don't think there's any new Everclear stuff on the horizon right now because I'm so wrapped up in writing for this record. But the priority in my life really is my family right now. We just bought a new house. My daughter's 10. I'm trying to be more present for her and for my wife than I have been. There's a reason I've been married 4 times. You can't put the blame on all the other people, right? Right. So this relationship, we've been together 14 years. I've figured it out. Yeah. I figured out what not to do and how to act and just how to have a sea change within myself. And I think people do that as you get older a little bit. Well, that's great. You grow up. Yeah, you do grow up, and everybody has to continue to evolve. Right. Whether you're evolving as an artist or, like you said, just a human being. Same thing. Yeah, and I think hopefully people will listen to your solo stuff, because I think your music is one of those things that can help other people in their lives with whatever they're going through. Right. So, I hope so. Well, as far as the show tonight, you're going to be here
there's 20 to 30,000 people that are attending this event. I know a lot of people are really excited that you guys are here. Anything you want to tell people to expect tonight? You're just going to go out there and give them the old...
We're going to play the hits. We're going to play some fan favorites. We're going to play a song off Black is the New Black.
Yes.
We're going to maybe play a cover song. But if you're an Everclear fan or a fan of the 90s, you're going to like the show.
Awesome.
And plus, right now, Eve 6 is rocking. So if you're not, people should come down.
Anything about you, last question, anything about you that something crazy, weird that nobody knows, that the fans have never heard before?
That I can tell you.
That you can tell me.
That I can tell you.
On camera.
Okay. I chew a lot of Nicorette gum. For health reasons, I had to quit smoking cigars a couple of years ago. And I got everybody in every band we've ever toured with addicted to cigars. And now I can't smoke.
Oh, no.
So all the Eve 6 guys and their crew, hey, man, you going to smoke a garden tonight? And I go, nope, but I'm going to watch you do it.
All right. Well, it has been such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're just such a great guy, and I hope you know how many fans just really love what you do.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.